Right.
Just due to the fact that this is also really kicking into the summer season, there really isn't anything on.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So we'll be probably renting a lot of movies until probably until next winter break after Christmas next year.
Anyway, let me get it started up on. Let me get my channel up on Twitch. What game is this that someone's playing? Hybrid Dimension Neptunia Rebirth, okay. Just wondering what that person was playing. Should I start the call now?
Absolutely.
Alright. Okay, there we go. Now I just gotta wait for the video to come up.
Should be there now.
Well, no, sometimes it takes a little bit to come up. There we go. Okay, anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back. We are back with more Trails of Cold Steel with my friend Rio Maverick.
Greetings and salutations once again on this lovely Memorial Day weekend to our legions and legions of fans. All 14 of them.
Anyway,
I figure we gained at least 2 more during the weekend, so you know.
That would be nice, except I haven't streamed any this weekend until now.
Well, yes, but surely the reverberations of us playing this game will filter out through the etherverse into the bowels of the internet and gather our audience unto us.
That's possible. Anyway,
on the other
last
hand, we
time...
may just be by ourselves, so in any case...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, last time we finished Chapter 4.
That's correct, and we are about to dig into Chapter 5.
Alright, I'm about to load my save now. Yep. Okay. And we are really fast forwarding here to August 18th.
That's funny. My thing says it's August 21st.
Mid-August.
Really?
Yeah, mid-August.
It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista.
It was the peak of summer, and the sweltering sun was beating down on the residents of Trista.
After returning
home from Heimdall, we were given a whopping 5-day summer vacation before the school year resumed. And Emma is still wearing a winter dress.
Oh, you hadn't changed her back to her uniform.
Thor
Gotcha.
sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's
Turns
holiday.
out, Thor sticks to its military roots, only granting extended vacations to students over the New Year's holiday.
However,
nobles are allowed to visit home, ostensibly to give them time to become familiar with their family's holdings.
Of course.
And
as you might expect, that meant most students from Class 1 and Class 2 spent summer away from Trista.
Good, we got a break from them.
Meanwhile, Classes 3 through 5 were stuck on campus envying the nobility as they studied and trained as usual.
The other members of Class
The
7
other
and I
members of
chose
Class
to stay
7
in
and I
Trista as
chose
well,
to stay in Trista as
facing
well,
the heat with our
facing
fellow
the heat with our
students.
fellow students.
That was nice of you, Reen.
What can I say? It's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way.
I guess so.
Not that Reen would ever say that, but you know.
Yeah, of course. 8:30. And class time.
Oh, it's so hot. I'm dying in here.
Are you telling me we don't have any kind of air conditioning or anything?
I guess so.
I'm sick of this heat already. Talking about it's just making me feel even hotter. The Academy should install an orbital air conditioner. Oh, wow. So, they really don't. At least then it'd be a little easier to cope.
An orbital air conditioner?
What is that? Well, it's a device that blows out cool air to help regulate a room's temperature. Maybe it'd help if you think of it as the opposite of a stove.
Well, that's some kind of wizardry. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be prohibitively expensive? Only the most modern buildings seem to be able to afford them.
Do you have one in your house? Well, there's one in the Rhineford Company's corporate headquarters, yeah. It'd be nice if my mother could spare one. You know, for the academy she sits on the board of directors for.
Seems a bit much to hope for.
Yeah, but she's not wrong. This is a military academy, so I doubt we can expect to be indulged quite that much. You'd think that would be a minimum requirement.
Still, a machine to help us cool in the summer. Whoever first invented that should get a medal.
I'll admit, the summer heat here is more difficult to cope with than in Legram. But as long as I think of it as another part of my training, it doesn't bother me all that much.
Morehead gets similar summer heat waves. There's usually a breeze blowing in from the canyon at this time of year. That does make summers a bit easier to manage. My hometown's up in the mountains, so it's pretty cool even around this time of year. Actually, now that you mention it, I would have thought you three would go back home for the summer, being nobles and all.
You were given permission, weren't you?
If everyone else was going home, I would have considered it. But in the end, I decided against it. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago I got to see Elise. Maybe next year.
I came here to train. Until I feel like I've made significant progress, I have no intention of returning home.
Some of you saw my father's mention. Do you think I'd go back to a place like that willingly? I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with a heat stroke. You're really that uncomfortable at home, huh? Still, hot as it is, there's a lot going on right now. I doubt all the people headed to that conference at the end of the month have much time to be worrying about the heat.
You make a good point.
You're talking about the West Sumerian Trade Conference, right?
That's the one. There's never been an international conference on that scale before, at least not in modern times. Mayor Theodore Croy... I hope I'm saying that right. Yep, time for Chapter 5. Hi, Ike.
Ike Man!
Mayor Theodore Croy, who also happens to be the International Bank of Crosbell's CEO, was the one who first proposed it. I've heard that Prince Oliver will be attending on behalf of His Majesty the Emperor. And Chancellor Osborne is supposed to be attending too.
Seems crazy to think we met them both just a few weeks ago. The Chancellor in particular was a pretty intimidating figure.
Seemed like a big scary monster. I've heard he served in the Imperial Army before becoming a politician. Then, 11 years ago, His Majesty entrusted him with the position of Chancellor. Supposedly, a full 70% of the Imperial Army is under his jurisdiction. His real fame comes from establishing most of the nation's railway network, centered on the capital. Though he's also been responsible for annexing several smaller countries and independent states around Arabonia. I believe those all took place without any bloodshed, though. At least as far as I'm aware.
I wouldn't put too much stock in what he's selling. Military spending in this country has increased exponentially since he took up his position as Chancellor. And that's only possible thanks to the tax revenue gleans from the people of Heimdallr and those annexed nations. Well...
He was the one who ordered the construction of those 2 railway guns. They've got pointed at Crossbell, too. At one point, Erebonia was on the verge of a full-scale war with Calvard because of those things.
Oh yeah, I heard that it was actually Liberal that proposed a way to avoid an armed conflict. They ended up signing the non-aggression pact, right? Yeah, though as I'm sure you've noticed, there's still quite a bit of tension between the 2 countries. I wouldn't be surprised if the issue reared its head again during the trade conference. Chancellor Osborne's been a really popular figure in the capital, though. Popular enough that he seems to have a group of terrorists after him. He does seem to be the Imperial Liberation Front's main target, doesn't he? You know, the hammer of judgment that shall topple the dictator and all that.
Indeed, they seem to harbor a deep-seated grudge against him. Their anger seemed a bit unusual in its intensity, didn't it? He does seem like the type who'd make a lot of enemies, especially with a face like that.
Well, I'd rather not speak ill of my father's close ally, but...
Come to think of it, isn't the instructor awfully late? Nothing new there. It's well past time for homeroom to start.
True, it should have started about 10 minutes ago, actually.
Oh, let's... how much do you want to bet on how she spent the weekend? The holiday, rather.
Give me my books, and my bottle, and hold the books.
Pretty much. I swear, that woman. She'd better not be sleeping off another hangover back in the dormitory. Wouldn't put it past her.
I wish I could say there's no way an upstanding instructor would do that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and you're not the type to lie, Elliot.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, I'll have you know I did no such thing today.
Instructor?
Good morning, instructor.
Good morning, instructor.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
Anyway,
I'll have you know I've got a good reason for being late today.
And that reason is...
we're going to be welcoming a new classmate today. Oh, really?
Really?
What?
What?
A transfer student.
A transfer student at this time of year?
Seriously?
Seriously?
All right.
All right, come on in.
Righto.
Righto!
Really? I knew it! I knew that was his voice.
Huh?
Huh?
Crow?
Crow?
But isn't he a second-year student?
Isn't he a second-year student?
I'm Crow Armbrest.
I'm Crow Armbrest.
Starting today, I'll be joining you fine
as
folks a member of Class 7.
It's
gonna be pretty
It's
sweet,
gonna
guys.
be pretty sweet, guys!
Oh, brother.
What?
What?
What? I mean,
What? I mean, how?
Are you sure you want to know? It's a
You
long
sure you want to know?
tale,
It's
fraught
a
with
long
the
tale,
intrigue of
fraught
school
with the intrigue
politics.
of school politics.
Can you give us the abridged version?
I don't think I'd
quite put it like that.
Back in his first year,
he slacked off so much that he ended up failing a few of his classes.
Then he came
crying to me in a panic like, "Oh, help me, Instructor Sarah! You're not going to let me graduate!"
So as a
special exception,
he's going to be
joining us the next 3 months to pay for his laziness.
You can't be serious.
You can't be serious.
That's an even more pathetic reason
That's
than
an
I was
even more
bracing
pathetic
myself
reason
for.
than I was bracing myself for.
Okay, I'm wondering what he was bracing himself for.
I think you already know that Crow
was one of the trial users for the Arcus test they ran last year.
So I thought he might
be a good role model for you.
In that sense.
In that sense, anyway.
And don't forget,
he'll also be joining us on our future field studies too.
Nice. Looks like you saved me the trouble.
Looks like you saved me the trouble of having to explain it all.
Anyway, let's let the good times roll.
Good times roll.
Oh, and since we're all classmates
now,
no
need for all that sweet talk you lay on the other second years, all right? Right.
Easier said than
done, I fear.
If he was any more laid
back, he'd be comatose.
Instructor, I can't help but notice you left the door open.
Wait, is there someone else too?
Shouldn't be. We only have one empty desk. Huh?
Are you serious?
Aw, I was hoping to catch you off guard.
All right.
Come on in and say hello. Again, we still only have one empty desk. I thought you forgot I was down the hall. Oh, hello.
What?
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 You must be joking.
Hey, aren't you?
You're the girl we met in
the North Highlands.
Yuppers.
Long time no see, guys. That's a cute hat she has on. But I see a couple of you I don't know, so I guess I better introduce myself. I'm Milliam Orion.
And this here's our
Giblin. But we'll just call him Lammy for short.
Give him some...
What the hell is
that?
Holy crap!
It's that thing we saw at
Oryx Fort.
So this is that
strange girl you met in the North Highlands.
Oh, and a little house
rule before anything gets blown up. No bringing that thing out in the classroom.
If he
accidentally smashes a wall or blasts through the ceiling, I'm the one who's going to get chewed out for it.
Boo!
Fine. Yeah. Anyway. Nice to meet you guys. Her uniform's cute.
Tell me you're kidding. Please.
Tell me you're kidding. Please.
I really wish I
could.
Well, I can see we're in for some fun times
in the next 3 months. What do you think I should do for him for an accent?
I don't know. You could stick with the one you've got.
Well, that's the problem. It's kind of like a weird combination of like
what?
Like Machias and Reen, and I want him to be separate.
Looks like your video froze up.
No, it's just what 3 days went by.
No, I mean on the stream, on the video chat.
Yeah, I'll fix that.
Because it's back on Yusuf saying, I'd much rather stay here and take my chances with heat stroke. Okay, 3 days went by. Okay, continue.
At first, no one was sure what to make of Crow Armbrust and Intelligence Division agent Milliam Orion's sudden transfer into Class 7. But within a matter of days, it almost felt like they'd been there all along. I think I have the perfect voice for him.
Okay.
I'm sure none of you need to be reminded that it was none other than Emperor Dracos who entered the War of the Lions. But did you know that historical records tell us he had an amazing few soldiers under his command? Initially, his allies numbered only a few confidants and several warriors from Nord. And while supporters rallied to him in each region, his rank still couldn't hope to compare to the other prince's armies. Nevertheless, they continued to advance, liberating region after region, and after half a year of bloody battles, Prince Dracos met perhaps his most well-known supporter. Milliam, right? Would you happen to know the figure to whom I'm referring?
Sure do. Leanne Sandlot. Also known as the Lance Maiden.
Oh, right you are. Well done. Sandlot was the daughter of a count who ruled over a remote region, and accounts tell us she showed great martial skill from a young age.
Look at the back! Look at the back!
Crow's asleep.
Yep.
This is why I think I've got the perfect voice for him. Wait.
Okay. Well...
In particular, her skill with the lance was unparalleled, and no records exist of her ever even being bested in combat. The Lance Maiden also had a group of mighty warriors under her command, who fought alongside her in battle. Perhaps you'd like to illuminate us as to the name of this famous band, Reen? The group of mighty warriors, led by the Lance Maiden. That's the... my group says... My thing says... A. Eisen Rider.
Okay, and Ike says, oh crap, now I understand something from Trails 3. Which, yeah, I'm sure he's not going to tell us for spoiler reasons.
Good, don't spoil. No spoilers!
Yep.
The Eisen Rider, also known as the Iron Knights. They were a band of knights said to be able to charge across the battlefield like lightning, cutting down all on their path. Correct! You've done your homework. The Wandering Prince met the Lance Maiden one day during a prolonged conflict in a remote region of the country. After recognizing each other as reliable and trustworthy, they pledged to fight together under a united banner. With the Lance Maiden and her knights bolstering his ranks, Draco's army swept through one region after another. In just a year, he was able to defeat the other princes and free the imperial capital, Heimdallr. As an interesting footnote, the castle the Eisenrider used as their base of operations 250 years ago just so happens to be a hop, skip, and a jump away from Laura's home in Legram.
I assume we're going to see it someday then. Indeed, it's known as Lohengrin Castle. It's a beautiful old building situated on the shore of Lake Ebel, to the west of Legram. Oh, you've mentioned that before.
Does anyone live there now?
No. Due to the dangerous terrain there, no one goes near it. These days it exists simply as a relic of a bygone age. The Arcade family is responsible for the care and maintenance of the castle, though really only minimal work is done.
Speaking of the Arcade house, wasn't one of your ancestors the Eisenrider's second in command?
Indeed, the Lance Maiden's most trusted assistant and confidant, from what I understand. The Sandlot family line ended with the death of the Lance Maiden, and it's partly because of that the Arcade family mourns her death each year. I see. Oh, what a fascinating story! Legram, huh? Never had a mission there, so I've never been able to go. Maybe I should have stopped by when I went to Berea-Heart a while back.
You'd think she'd at least try to conceal the fact that she gets sent all over the country on secret missions. I know. She totally just let it slip that she was doing something in Berea-Heart too. Well, I suppose it's better than her being all distant and cagey around us.
I guess so. AP increased by 1. Okay, so tomorrow's a free day. Which means that next Wednesday you'll have your usual practical exam. You'd better all bring your A-game. Oh, Milliam and Crow? A few must-have instructional materials you guys are going to need as a part of Class 7 finally showed up. I'll hand that stuff off to you once we're done here, so I want you to come with me to the faculty lounge. Righto!
Man, what a drag.
Alright, homeroom's out for the day. Flee while you can. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow.
So, what do you think?
Well, I don't think we have to be on our guard around her, at least. Same. Though I'd rather she kept that giant silver thing of hers hidden.
I don't think she's a bad girl. I was taking a nap in the courtyard yesterday, and she came and fell asleep next to me. Aww.
What does that have to do with whether or not she's trustworthy?
They looked like a couple of kittens all curled up together. The personalities may be worlds apart, but they're both rather cat-like in their own ways.
She got me more than 12 or 13. She's practically a child.
Yeah, you're right. She's so chipper all the time that it's hard to be really cold toward her.
Yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to spurn her. She's got this natural charm, I think. Be that as may, her presence here reeks of blood and iron, if you take my meaning. Well, it certainly seems that way.
As such, I'm planning
on granting you a bit of additional assistance.
I should have it ready
for you in a few weeks' time.
Oh.
It's hard to believe a girl like that could be an agent of the intelligence division. But just going off what happened in Nord, there's not much that would make me doubt it now.
And there's that thing, Arcanum, that's always with her. She calls it Lammy, but aside from its name, we don't really know anything about it. It seems to be made from some strange material with both metallic and ceramic properties, hard but pliable. Agreed. It doesn't look like anything you could make even with the most cutting-edge orbital technology. When I touched it, it felt really nice and cold.
Wow, so you actually touched it?
It hasn't escaped my notice that it seems strikingly similar to the combat shells we fight in our practical exams. I think it's safe to assume that they share some kind of common origin.
Yeah. The instructor said she was forced to accept it, though in a sense Milliam was forced on us too. You're welcome to think what you will, but I don't trust her. Either way, she's technically our classmate now, like it or not. It may be a little early to tell whether we can trust her as a friend, but we should be able to figure out pretty quickly whether we can count on her as a member of Class 7. Ah. Well, that's a logical way of breaking it down, at least. You're right. It's still pretty early to make sweeping judgments. Knowing her background would be great, but what's really important is whether we can count on her in a fight.
Agreed. As students of a military academy, that's probably the most important issue. We'll have to wait and see. Well, considering we're living in the same dormitory, it'd be good if we all got along. Yeah, I wouldn't want her to think we're trying to make her feel unwelcome either. And then there's Crow. What's he like, Green? He seemed like you get along with him pretty well.
I don't know if I'd put it quite like that. If I had to say, I'd describe him as a capricious gambling addict way too prone to ante up for every hand. Adios, help us. He sounds like the kind of miscreant one would be better off avoiding. You can count on him when the chips are down, though. He really helped me out last month when it at least went to the old schoolhouse. He's good in a fight and pretty handy with his Arcus, too. Maybe we'll learn over nothing then. Still, I'm not really sure how to connect with him, you know?
Well, at least we are in separate dorms for the time being. We'll just have to see how things go.
Yeah. With the time being as in the time it takes for them to leave the classroom and go back to the dorm, I bet.
Yep. Okay, what do you want to do now? Did you want to stop here, or do you think you can keep going?
Well, let's see here. When you can control rain, leave the classroom. You get a phone call from Toa. Instead of seeing Toa, go and speak to the following instructors. Yeah, let's just call it a short night here.
Yeah, sounds like.
But because it's Memorial Day, I will be back tomorrow night.
Alright, sounds good. Hopefully the weather will cooperate with that plan too.
Sounds like an idea.
And if it does, I'll also be back at 5 p.m. tomorrow to finish Final Fantasy 15.
You're that close to finishing it?
Yep, I'm about to fight the final boss, I believe.
Right.
Nice.
Yep. And I don't expect that to take the whole 4 hours, so I'm thinking of maybe playing some demos for the rest of the time.
Well, if you happen to see me on, you're welcome to drop me a buzz. Maybe we can even start the stream early.
That would be pretty early, because I don't end my stream until 9 o'clock. And like I said, I'm hoping it wouldn't even take maybe a couple of hours. I just don't know how this boss fight will go, so.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
right,
but
then.
yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. And like you said.
Sorry for the short night, gang.
Yeah. Yep. And as I said, I'll be back at 5 p.m. Central Time to continue Final Fantasy 15, and as I said, I should be finishing it up. Anyway, so I'll see you all tomorrow, and have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
And let's see who I want to host tonight.
Baku-san. And the only reason I mention him is because he's the only one I know.
Fair enough. I'm not even sure if he's on tonight, streaming right now. Doesn't look like it. Let's see, who else is streaming? Not very. Oh, he is streaming. Okay, yeah, let's go with him then. Yeah, we'll host Baku-san JRPG, who is playing The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky.
Nice.
So, yep, good night, Ike. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Yep, we'll be back tomorrow night, gang. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep, see you then. Good
see
night,
you tomorrow
everyone.
night, gang.
And hope you have a nice holiday.
Yep, we'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Yep, good night, everyone. Bye.
Right. Right.